Scrappy Tales Crafts. Welcome back to my channel. Today it is that time of the year again where we bring out another Scrappy Tales release. This is our second and last Christmas collection of the year, and it's sort of a continuation of what we brought out in August. I did design and illustrate every single product you're going to see today, and I drew it in the same style as the August release. So you can definitely mix and match the old with the new. Everything is going to work together really nicely. We have hot foil plates, stencils, dies, and stamps in this launch. It's a big one. I think it's our biggest one. And I spent the most amount of time on this, especially with the pop-ups that you can see behind me. They are Snow Globe pop-up cards, but they're not your average pop-up. They have another interactive element to them that makes them incredibly unique and innovative, and that's part of the reason why I have been so quiet about this launch, because I did not want these bad boys to get released too early to the public. But today I am finally able to show you guys. I am so giddy to show you all the new products, but before we get started, I want to mention that there are a couple giveaways happening. I will be giving away two $50 gift cards in today's video, and all you have to do is leave a comment down below letting me know what your favorite product is. If you're in the live chat, now is a great time to say hello, and I will go ahead and write down your name, and you'll be automatically entered into that giveaway. So you don't have to come back and leave a comment unless you, of course, want to. We're also going to be having an Instagram hop on Friday, and there will be prizes given away for that. I did send out some product to guest designers for this release, so the hop is going to be larger than normal, so hopefully there's going to be plenty of inspiration for you guys. You're also going to be seeing some new faces in October and November, some smaller creators, some larger influencers, so hopefully there's going to be a lot of eyes on this release, and especially on these amazing pop-up dies behind me. I am just so excited to see what everyone creates. Speaking of guest designers, I have been getting some emails and questions asking when we're going to be posting our design team call for next year, and I will be posting that in the next week or two, letting you guys know how you can apply for the team. And all that good stuff. So don't worry, we will expand our team next year, hopefully add in some new faces. One last thing, Scrappy Tales did mark its 1-year anniversary on October 4th. I just want to express to you guys my gratitude and thank you all for allowing me to continue releasing products and letting me live out my dream. I love my job so much, and you guys are the reason why. So thank you. All right, so now let's go ahead and get started showcasing all the new products. All right, I am back, and I just finished compiling all of the products for the showcase, and look how much stuff we have here. It is very thick, including the two little freebies. So there's a lot to get through. I did spend an entire month drawing for this collection, so I honestly have no idea how many products are here, but I know for a fact that this is our biggest collection yet. So we're gonna start with the pop-up dies for this release, and both of these are Snow Globe pop-up cards. This one is an A7 size, and this one is obviously a Slimline size. And these are the reason why I have been so quiet about this release. I haven't shown really any sneak peeks of the pop-ups this week, because I just didn't want these to get out too early to the public because of how unique and innovative they are. I'm going to pull in a sample of each so you can see what you can create with these dies. So this is the Slimline, and it's not your average pop-up. As you can see, the centerpiece dangles back and forth, and it's very hard to show on camera overhead. So I'm going to frequently, as I showcase all the samples that I made, I will insert little clips of what these cards look like standing upright. But I can show you while they're kind of laying flat here. But what's really cool is the centerpiece dangles back and forth. You can also have it spin to create a spinner pop-up card. Spinner cards have been around for a while, but I haven't seen any pop-up spinner cards. So these are just so unique. Here's the A7 version. So this one, or the A7, to me looks like a true snow globe. So I feel like this die is more of a holiday die set that you'll be using every single year for the holidays for those special recipients. And the Slimline one to me, doesn't scream snow globe as much. So I feel like you can use this one year round. In fact, when I built the prototype for this, I felt like it looked more like a dome enclosed thing. It made me think of like the Beauty and the Beast with the rose inside. So there will definitely be some add-ons for this one. But I do think that this A7 snow globe is definitely more holiday oriented. So here I'm going to stand this one up, and this one does the same thing where the centerpiece swings back and forth. It is held together by a string that is knotted at the top. And then if you wind up the string a couple times and then place the pop-up into your envelope, once it's all wound up, you can fold it flat. If I fold it carefully, that is. Like so. Put it in the envelope. Then when your recipient takes it out, it's just going to spin, and it's such a cool effect. Now, obviously you don't have to make these spinner cards. I think they're beautiful on their own, just kind of hanging there as like almost like a decor piece. I would argue that a lot of the samples I'm going to show you today are more than just cards. These are definitely like a standout paper craft that I think can be displayed for the holiday season. For me, like, these are just the coolest cards I've ever seen. I guarantee you have not seen these cards in any card store and any tutorial. There's something that you cannot replicate with your scoreboard and trimmer. They're just so cool. I absolutely love these so much. They're my favorite pop-up. I made 20 cards using both of these dies and the standalone dies and the add-ons that are in this collection. So yeah, I'm just so excited. Another cool feature about these is that you can create many different types of pop-up cards, which I'll admit, our previous pop-up die sets, you can only create one card base from them. You can decorate them in any way that you want, but you will always end up with the same card base, if that makes sense. With these dies, you can create several pop-up variations. So you can create the front being open and the back being open, but you can also keep it completely solid. You can have the back be solid, the front be open. You can create shadow boxes with these, shaped flat cards, shaker pop-up cards. So I'm going to share several that I have come up with, and I'm sure there's even more that I haven't thought of yet, but I think that's another amazing thing that sets these dies apart from anything else that we have ever brought out. So let me kind of go through each of the sets and break down everything you get. I will have a pop-up tutorial on both of these very soon. I did film a Slimline card tutorial that I'm going to try to post tomorrow, or I'm going to try to post it the day of the launch. If not, I will post it the day after. Then I'll have the A7 one up very soon after. So be on a lookout for that tutorial, but these are actually really easy to assemble. And I forgot to mention that these, I think, are beyond cards. I really feel like they would be awesome home decor pieces as well, because of, you know, the way that they pop up. So I'm gonna start with the A7. So here's what you get in the die. You get the base itself, which will cut the actual base of the card. You will need to cut 2 of those for the front and back. You also get a larger circle that will create the outer frame. Then you get the smaller circle that will create your spinner piece. So all of the add-ons that I'm going to show you today have spinner added to them because they are sized and meant to hang from either of the 2 pop-ups. However, know that the add-ons can also be standalone pieces and work on regular flat cards. But you get a spinner obviously included in the die, which is just a simple circle. You can add your stamped images, your die cut images, and create your own little scene for it to spin or to dangle or whatever you want to do. Then you get the word dies Let It Snow with the shadow dies. And then you get 2 little snowflakes, the trapeze. So this is a second layer. If you want to layer like a different pattern paper down there, you can do that. On this sample, I kept it I cut the whole thing from pattern paper, so I didn't actually use this piece, but you definitely can if you cut it from, you know, regular cardstock and then you want to add pattern paper at the bottom. Then you get the small accordion with the hole attached in the center, which is what's going to hold your centerpiece and what you hang your string on, or your twine, whatever you want to use. Then you get the accordion, which is basically the thing that makes your pop up, and fold down. So you can see that it just folds completely down, and this will just slip inside an A7 envelope, and then once it's out, it just pops up like that. Oh, I will say that I did use the trapeze in the back. I'm not sure if you can see that or not. So this accordion also includes this like 1-inch rectangle at the bottom, and that's this piece here. This is like an added flap where you can add your sentiment, or you can add some more decorative elements. So I'll show you a couple different things I did with this flap. If you don't want the flap, if you want more of the globe showing at the bottom, you can just cut that off. You also get a solid rectangle that can die cut your sentiment or whatever you want to add down there. So yeah, that's basically everything you get in this die. It is quite large, so there's going to be 2 pieces. So make sure that when you move it to your packaging, everything kind of stays together. All right, so now I'm going to show you the Slimline, and this one is pretty much assembled the exact same way as the A7 one is. Pretty much all the pieces are the same. It's just, you know, converted into a Slimline version. So in this set, you get the solid die that will create the base. Then you get a larger nested shape here that's going to create the frame. Then a smaller piece that will be your spinner. I didn't use the solid piece in this card, but I'll show you a couple others where I did use it. And then this piece, the only difference between the A7 and the Slimline is this die right here. Because the Slimlines are taller, they're not as stable. They have a tendency to lean forward or backward when I was building the prototype. So I needed something on the sides to keep it more sturdy. I would suggest on all of the snow globe cards you want to make to use heavyweight cardstock for all the pieces. So for the front, the back, the accordion, the side piece, and the top piece, try to use heavyweight cardstock so that it is very stable. But yeah, that's really the only difference, is this piece here. And honestly, you don't have to use it on all of your cards. It really just depends on how heavy your spinner piece is. So this, as you can see, this little Nutcracker has several layers to him. He's front and back. So he definitely needed that extra stability. So I decided to use that piece on the sides. You get the accordion for the top again to hang your centerpiece, and then you get the trapeze, which I did use on this card. I embossed some red cardstock and added it behind my sentiment here. And then the accordion for the bottom is pretty much the exact same. It's what's going to connect your front and back. It's what's going to allow your card to fold completely flat. And then you also get that 1-inch piece at the bottom there to again add your sentiment. So yeah, I think I kind of covered everything about the pop-ups. I know I had to explain a lot there, but moving forward, it should be pretty quick to get through all the products. So I'm going to show you our add-ons first. I'm going to start with the Slimline Snow Globe add-ons first. The Slimline ones are about 5.5 inches tall by 2.5 inches wide. So these would look great on A7 and Slimline and mini Slimline cards. Even, I guess, A2 cards, they would pretty much be the focal point on an A2 card. And all of the spinners are symmetrical. And I did that so that they would be able to spin inside those little globes. So the first one I have here is the Christmas tree spinner. This one, you get the decorative tree layer that will cut out all your ornaments and the ribbon. Then you get a solid tree that you can layer behind. And then you also get some presents and bows that you can add to the bottom of the tree, as well as a little pot. And then we have the snowman spinner. And he's pretty dang cute. He is definitely more work because you can see you get all the little layering pieces if you want to dress him up, but you can leave him completely solid. This left die here doesn't actually die cut all the pieces. It will leave these impressions or cut lines so that you know where to glue the little pieces on top. But I think he's great on his own without the extra pieces added. So the only thing that will actually cut from this layer is his eyes and his buttons. So the shadow layer would basically be black, or whatever color really you want. So then you get the shadow, and then you get all the little pieces to paper piece this snowman, and he is really not that bad to paper piece. I think it takes about 20 minutes or so to die cut everything and glue him together, but he ends up looking so dang cute. It is so worth that little bit of time to paper piece all those little dies. All right, then we have the angel spinner, and she is quite elegant. Her wings and her dress are very detailed. All those little swirls die cut out, and then the shadow would be, you know, showing underneath those decorative die cut pieces. And you can see that the angel is holding her hand up, so you can give her some different items to hold. There's 2 stars, a dove, and a lantern. And then I also gave you the little bow that's on her dress if you want to paper piece that in a different color. And she is not really symmetrical, you can see, but she will still spin really great inside the snow globe. I did test all of them. Then we have the Nutcracker spinner, and that is what I used for this sample here. He is just the coolest die ever. I think out of all the spinners, this one is my favorite. I mean, look how detailed this die is. He looks incredible on A7 cards. I did add him to an A7 book that I'll show you. He's the perfect size. Like I said, 5.5 inches tall, so he's pretty substantial. And just like the snowman, you get the solid layer so that you know exactly what to paper piece on top, and you don't have to go as detailed as I did here. Paper piecing is definitely one of my favorite card making techniques. I find it very therapeutic and enjoyable, so I don't mind those teeny tiny details like the buttons, the eyeballs, the mustache, but you don't have to do every single thing. It's still gonna look pretty if you just do the crown, the jacket, and the boots, you know? It's kind of up to you. You can dress him down or dress him completely up. Either way, I know that Nutcrackers are, you know, a favorite amongst a lot of people. They do bring a sense of nostalgia. I saw the Nutcracker ballet when I was really young, so I do have a Nutcracker / Russian Christmas theme throughout this collection. I mentioned back in August that we were going to continue that European Christmas theme in this release. I was going to do Russia and England, but I kind of got carried away with the snow globe, so I only ended up focusing on Russia. So you are going to be seeing some Nutcracker themed imagery throughout the collection, some Russian Christmas here and there, kind of mixed in, and I really enjoy that about this release. So he is by far my favorite die in this entire collection, other than the snow globes, of course. I think he turned out so amazing. He was a lot of fun to illustrate. All right, okay, so I think this is the last Slimline spinner. I kind of went crazy with the spinners because they're so cool. I can't wait to show you guys how fast they spin, and they're just beautiful dangling as well. But this one I think is the most versatile out of all of them, just because you can use both of these dies together or separate. This left die here is in the shape of the spinner that's included in the actual die, this shape right here. And it just cuts out all these little circles to create the look of snow. And then on the right side here is a village scene with a church, some little houses, lanterns, trees, and you even get all of those houses that you can paper piece on top, and the trees if you want to do, you know, some different colors on this. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys the A7 spinners. I don't have quite as many dies for the A7, but I do have some hot foil designs that I will share with you guys. So just like the Snowy Village spinner for the Slimline, I wanted to create a similar look for the A7. So again, you get a solid circle that will cut out all these tiny circles to create the look of snow. And then on this side, you will get a circle that creates this frame and a snow hill at the bottom. And then you also get two sizes of trees, a cabin, a door that you can paper piece, and then the little smoke coming from the chimney. You can use these dies together or separately. You can add your own stamped images to the snow hill. So I think that this one you would get a lot of use out of. Okay, then we have the wreath spinner, and this one is really cool because the detailed wreath cuts out these pine needles in the middle. Actually, it doesn't die cut them fully out. It just creates these little cut lines that you can lift up. So it kind of adds some dimension to the wreath. Then the shadow layer, I purposely sized a little bit larger, and I also offset the needles. That way you can create a two-toned wreath. And it's kind of hard to explain, but the samples using this die are absolutely amazing. Another favorite with the design team, so I think that this one will be popular. You also get a bow for the wreath, some poinsettias, some berries, and some little stars if you want to dress it up. Then the last spinner die for the A7 snow globe is this snowflake spinner. And I forgot to mention that the A7 spinners are 3.5 by 3.5. So I think that these would look great on A2 and A7 cards. So on this set, you get the detailed snowflake that will cut out all these beautiful inner pieces, and then you get the solid snowflake that you can layer behind to create a two-toned effect. And then you also get these tiny snowflakes, which in my opinion, I feel like you can never have too many snowflakes. They're the perfect little embellishment, or if you don't really know what else to add to a card, usually adding a snowflake finishes it off really nice. So I love that you also get a little assortment of smaller snowflakes that you can add to the outside of your snow globes. And you'll see that I use them a lot. All right, so I didn't have really as many dies for the A7, but I do have two hot foil that look beautiful inside the snow globe. Now I want to mention that these are a little bit taller, so they're 4 inches tall by 3.5 inches wide, so they wouldn't spin inside your snow globe. They would more so dangle or sway back and forth, which is still a beautiful look. But if you want them to spin, all you'd really have to do is cut the tops off. I left them on because I just felt like they looked so much better. And I think that they're a great size, again, for really any flat card. They would definitely be an amazing focal point. So this one on the left here is called the Christmas Sayings hot foil ornament, and this one on the right is the decorative hot foil ornament. Both are absolutely gorgeous and perfect for the A7 snow globe. Then we have the Christmas Sayings hot foil plates, and these I specifically sized to work with both the Slimline snow globe and the A7. So the longer sentiments work with the A7, the shorter ones work with the Slimline. So you get Happy Holidays, Let It Snow, Merry Christmas, 'Tis the Season, Season's Greetings, Be Merry, Merry and Bright, and Oh Holy Night. So that finishes off the add-ons for the snow globes. Everything moving forward are standalone. So the first one I have here is the Winter Essentials, and I love this set. This might be my second favorite after the Nutcracker because these reindeer are so dang pretty. I love their antlers. They're looking at each other. They look like they're kissing. Just such a sweet little group or pairing, I guess. Then you also get some more snowflakes. I feel like you can never have enough snowflakes. You get a bow that you can attach to their necks. Then you get the word dies, Warm Wishes, and Winter, so you can say Warm Winter Wishes or Winter Wishes. I feel like that's a very versatile word die to have. And word dies are the dies that I want to have but don't necessarily want to buy, so I liked that these have them included with other images. So the next one here is Holiday Essentials. And this one comes with the word die that says Season's Greetings with the shadows. The Winter Essentials also had shadows included. And then you get this beautiful bell image that you can paper piece. So you get the two bells by themselves, the shadow with the bell. You also get a single bell, and then you can add them to this greenery piece. I gave you little swirly bits that are drawn inside the image too if you want to paper piece them. You also have berries and a cute little bow that you can add to the top of the bells. This one was also pretty, or both of these, should I say, were very popular with the design team. So I think that these will be some popular dies. Then back to the Nutcracker theme. That little ballerina that I used on this card is from this die set. I just kind of paper pieced her dress. And this is an A7 cover plate. I have been getting a lot of messages from you guys telling me that you love that we offer A7 dies. So we're gonna continue creating A7 cover plates. This works really great with the A7 Shadow Box book. It is called a theater cover plate because it has the spotlight, it has the ballerina and the tassels, but we did create a card sample where we use this die as a window instead, so you can use it as a theater or as a window. So I love that this one is a little more versatile, and it also works great with one of our stamp sets that we're bringing out in this release. All right, next up is the music note cover plate. Again, this is A7 sized. This one is just a large rectangular frame, and inside is a bunch of music notes. So perfect for the Nutcracker images. There's a whole Nutcracker stamp that I'm going to show you that works well with both of these cover plates. Obviously, this one works with the Shadow Box book as well. Inside, you get all these beautiful instruments because the Nutcracker is a ballet and a huge part of it is the music. So I felt that it was important to add some instruments and some cute little music notes, which again, I used on this card, and I did use a little trumpet at the top. So I think that this one would be cute for birthday cards as well. I think this one can work beyond the holidays. Then we have the snowy Christmas trees. And I know that this seems a little bit random to have in this collection, but I really wanted to have some trees to go with my little reindeer, just to create scene cards with. I know that trees don't seem like that great of dies to have, but they're amazing supporting elements to add to scenes. They're great fillers because they're so large. So they are great standout pieces, I feel. So you get two trees, a larger one and a smaller one, and you get the shadow layers included. So the shadow you would cut from white, and then the detailed trees you would cut from green, so that you can make these trees look like snowy trees. I'm sure you guys probably figured that out, but I thought I would mention it. Then you get a lantern with the little inside light, a bow for the lantern, and then some little birds to go on the trees. All right, so that actually finishes up all of the dies. I know that was a lot, but you guys know that Scrappy Tales mainly specializes in dies. It's definitely my favorite thing to illustrate and design. It's also my favorite way to create cards. I'm definitely a die cutting gal. But we do have stencils in this release, and I wanted to bring out stencils in the last collection, but they melted. So I had to figure out a new way of designing them. I moved manufacturers, so I love how these stencils turned out. There's actually 3 in this release, and all of them kind of coordinate together. 2 of them are layering stencils. So this is the first one. I'm going to insert pictures of what these look like because they don't look like really anything in the packaging. They're kind of hard to see what they look like. But this one here creates sheet music, basically. So the first layer of the stencil is horizontal lines, and then the second layer are the music notes that you would ink on top of the lines. I did actually create this die following My Favorite Things by, what is that from? A Sound of Music, I think. I followed that song. So if you were to actually play this stencil, you would play My Favorite Things. So I thought that was an interesting tidbit to tell you guys. Then this stencil is another layering one, and this creates a swirl. It's really cool. It works really well with those Nutcracker themed images. So the first layer creates the lines and the swirl, and then the second layer creates the music notes that you would add on top. Then this stencil is just a background stencil with a bunch of music notes. All right, then we do have one more hot foil, and this one is sheet music. Again, it's the same design as the stencil, so this is the Sound of Music, My Favorite Things again. But this is a beautiful die. It's an A7 size, but it does fit on the Glimmer and on the Gemini hot press, so you don't have to worry about it being too big. It will fit on there. Then we are down, guys. We're down to the final two products, which are stamps. We have the Russian Winter Village. Last year I came out with the German Winter Village, and I hope next year I'll do an English Winter Village and create like a whole series. But these are all Russian buildings. I forgot what this one is called. This was like the most famous building in Russia. My husband the other day told me what it was, and I completely forgot. But all of these are drawn in that Russian architecture style. Then there's, just like the German Winter Village, some people included. So you get this little girl up here. It's like a fashionista in a cute outfit. I was definitely inspired by Russian fashion. So you can see the little muffs that they have, their cute little winter hats. German Winter Village had an adorable little couple that I absolutely adored. So I included another couple in this stamp set. Then you get a bunch of sentiments. Merry Christmas, warm wishes, happy holidays, let it snow, Merry Christmas, my love. I am thankful that I have someone as special as you to share this wonderful holiday season with, wishing you and yours a wonderful Christmas time, and walking in a winter wonderland. The German Village also had a cute girl walking her dog, so I did a similar stamp here with a Russian girl walking her dog. Very cute. So yeah, this one is Russian Winter Village. It is a 6x6 stamp. Then we have the Nutcracker Ballet, which is a 6x8 stamp. This definitely took the longest to draw. Out of all the products, I think I've spent like 23 hours drawing this set, but I absolutely love how it turned out. This is the only product I haven't used yet. And so I'm gonna have a special video for it very soon. But basically you get all of the images from the Nutcracker Ballet. You get the Sugar Plum Fairy, some ballet dancers, like a little couple up here, the Nutcracker, the soldier boy, or the drummer boy, the Mouse King, a grandfather clock, drum, some presents, another ballerina down here, a jumping ballerina, a rocking horse, a violin, and then a large Christmas tree. In the ballet, it had like candlesticks on it, so I did draw those into the tree. And then you get two sentiments that say the Nutcracker sits under the holiday tree, a guardian of childhood stories. Feed him walnuts and he will crack open a tale. And then the other one says the magic of Christmas never ends, and its greatest of gifts are our family and friends. We do, of course, have coordinating dies for both stamps. We, of course, have incentive products for this collection. So if you spend $75 or more, you will receive this Winter Village snow globe. So this image might look familiar. These are the houses from that village die set. I just drew a little snow globe and put those houses inside. It fit the name of the collection, which I can't believe I have not told you the name of this release, but you probably know what it is. It's called Snow Globe Flurries. So I thought that was very fitting to be the freebie of this release. And then if you spend $150 or more, you will receive both the stamp and this very beautiful whimsical reindeer. Again, drawn in the same style as those other deer with the beautiful antlers. So I think he is a wonderful freebie. You can also purchase this one separately if you don't meet that 150 mark. So yeah, that completes the entire Snow Globe Flurries release. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the card designs that I have been working on this week to give you some inspiration, showing you all the new products. I managed to use every product except that Nutcracker ballet stamp, and I'm still really mad at myself for not using it, but I will have a separate video for that soon. All of my cards today are pop-up designs, just because that's what I love to do. Scrappy Tales is known for its pop-up dies, and I really wanted to show you guys the versatility of those Snow Globe pop-up cards because you can get so many different looks with them. I will say that the Scrappy Tales design team does a great job at making flat card designs. So if that's something you're more interested in, definitely follow us on Instagram at Scrappy Tales Crafts so that you can see what the design team makes throughout October, November, December. Also stay tuned for that Instagram hop on Friday to get some more inspiration. A lot of my pop-up cards though can be converted into flat card designs. All right, so I have a huge box of cards. I made 20 in total, so let's go ahead and start. This first one here showcases the snowman spinner, and you can use him as is as a spinner, but I decided to add him on top of the die that's included in the Slimline die set, just to show you guys that you can use that die as the actual spinner. He's already kind of spinning. I will insert those clips as I kind of talk through each one. So he is just absolutely cute. I do the front and the back, obviously, so that when it swings, you will see him in every direction. And on this one, I added the side panels. This Merry Christmas is from the Merry Christmas ornament from the last collection. I added some candy canes to the front and a cute little bow at the top. Then we have an A7 globe, and this one I made into a shaker. So as I mentioned, you can create several different looks with these dies. So I thought it would be really fun to do a shaker on the front part of the snow globe, just so that it looks like a real snow globe. It looks like it's snowing in there. The centerpiece, I used the Let It Snow word dies that come in the A7 globe. I also added a couple small snowflakes from the collection, some silver baubles, and then here are those two beautiful deer from Winter Essentials. I gave them some cute little bows for their necks, and then all I did was create a snow hill for the front, and I glued that on this little flap here. So you don't have to add a sentiment there. You can kind of just add more decoration. Super cute. Then we have this beauty. I think this card might be my favorite just because I love how simple it is, and specialty cardstock can take you very far for Christmas card making. If you don't want to create super intricate designs, but you want beautiful, elegant cards, all you need to do is invest in specialty cardstock, because this card is very simple, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It really packs a punch. Here is how it looks like from above. This features the snowflake spinner. I used the trapeze and cut that out from pattern paper. On this design, I cut off that front flap and added a larger sentiment directly to the front, and this is included in that Russian Village stamp set. I just gold heat embossed it. And this is a 360 card design, so I decorated the front and the back exactly the same. So no matter how you look at this card, it looks beautiful in all directions. So here you can see how that centerpiece swings. It's just such a cool concept. I can't wait to see what other people create with this die. All right, then we have this A7 globe. And this one uses that freebie deer in the center. I also use the snowy cabin spinner, and I just used that snowflake layer to add to the background of this deer, added some more silver glitter snowflakes, and then at the bottom I added a snow hill and then some of the trees from that snowy village spinner. And then here I want to show you guys maybe how it spins from above. I don't know if it's going to look good or not, so I'm only going to do it for this card. But I like to just pinch the top, wind it up, and then I let go. Very cool. And I absolutely love when these just swing back and forth. I would definitely say that these could also be home decor pieces because of just how amazingly cool they are. Here is the wreath spinner. And as I mentioned, you get those 2 layers included in the die so that you can create a 2-toned wreath. And on this spinner, on one side, I put the light green layer on top. And then on the reverse side, I did the dark green layer so that when it spins, it creates a really cool effect. So in the center, I put Season's Greetings, which is included in that Holiday Essentials die set. I added the bow to the top of the wreath. And then this little bell is included in the Holiday Essentials die set. So instead of doing a sentiment, I thought that would be really pretty on the front, and I cut the entire base from pattern paper. So you don't have to use regular cardstock. I think it's so cool to cut these out from pattern paper. You can also ink blend on these. Either way, I do suggest layering heavy weight behind. So you can see, I don't know if you can, but I did add heavyweight craft behind the pattern paper to make it more sturdy. Then I have a different card. This one is more of a shadow box. It does fold flat, although it does have a lot of layers to the side. I added quite a few side pieces to make sure it was nice and stable so that it stood up well. But it still technically folds flat. You can definitely mail it in a bubble mailer. And this is what I'm talking about when I say these can be home decor pieces, because just look how large it is. It would just be beautiful on a mantle. And this one I really like because of the colors. I'm not a purple person. Purple is my least favorite color actually, but with the white and the gold, it just looks absolutely amazing. So this whole scene was created with that Snowy Village spinner. You can see I added the houses in the front 3 layers, and I treated this snow globe as a shadow box. So I die cut the base 4 times from heavyweight white cardstock. I also added the pattern paper on each layer to create this, and I will definitely have a tutorial on how to make shadow box cards with these dies, but here is a great example that shows you another cool card you can create with these dies. You can do the same thing with the A7. That back layer that's glued to the back of the card is that snowy layer that's included in the Village die set. Just such a pretty card. Here is the Oh Holy Night from that hot foil Christmas sayings set. And to the front flap of each of these, I did add a foam dot just to make sure that it would stay put. And throughout a lot of these cards, I used the snowflakes in that snowflake spinner set and in the winter essentials set. Then I gotta grab my other box. Here is the angel spinner. And I paper pieced with red. I gave her red wings, a red dress, a gold bow, brown hair, cream skin, and I decided to give her a star to hold in her hands. So here's another variation of the pop-up where you can leave the back completely solid so that you can see pattern paper behind your swinging element. So behind on this solid layer, I used the Music Note hot foil plate to create my own pattern paper, and she just looks beautiful. These bells are from the Holiday Essentials die set. I added that same pattern paper that I created for the trapeze, and then this Believe is included with the angel die set. And then the whole base I cut from gold mirror cardstock. And here's an example where I didn't use the side piece, but you can see that it's kind of moving forward. So I am gonna go back in and add those side pieces to make it more stable. I thought I could get away without adding the side pieces, but I definitely feel like I need to add them. But I think that this turned out really beautiful and elegant. All right, so I'm gonna pause from the snow globes and show you some book cards that I made. I really wanted to show you those cover plates. So these are all A7 books. This is the reindeer, that's the freebie. These are the layering trees, which, like I said, didn't look like much in the die set at all, but added to a scene, they're absolutely incredible background pieces. This is the little lantern with the trees. I added some snow hills that I cut from white glitter. And then this sentiment comes with the Russian village stamp. Inside, we have one of the two, or both of the reindeers that look at each other. I added one to the left side with a dark green bow, and then I added one inside this book. And then this curtain is the theater cover plate. I made it into a window curtain looking outside. So I added some more trees in there. I added the reindeer and another lantern, and this just turned out so beautiful and elegant. I added some pattern paper to the sides. Gorgeous little book. All right. Then we have this Season's Greetings book. This is the Music Note A7 cover plate. I also added the bells from Holiday Essentials and the Season's Greetings. And then inside we have some more wonderful little nutcrackers. I added 3 of them inside, and you guys are probably thinking I'm crazy, but I had to make this card. I was envisioning this one as soon as I was designing this nutcracker, and I wanted 2 red ones in the back, 1 blue one in the front, and I cannot say that I'm disappointed with how this card turned out. On the left side here, I used the hot foil Music Note cover plates to create a little bit of a pattern paper there, another bell, and yeah, that is that book. The last book I created features the bells from Holiday Essentials again. Can you tell that that one was one of my favorite dies? I used the bow from the wreath to add to the top. Warm Wishes, this came in the Holiday Essentials. This oval is from a die that was in the last collection. So as I mentioned, I did draw everything in the same style as the August release, so you can definitely mix and match the old with the new. Same thing, I added those decorative side layers to the spine of the book, and then some more pattern in the back, pattern paper. Inside, I have another bell. And then again, the theater cover plate. This one I did want to look more like a theater, but it could also look like a window. And inside I added that layering Christmas tree where I cut the decorative layer from green, and then the solid layer I cut from gold mirror. And I think that just turned out amazing. And then I added the little presents from that die set right in the front. And I also added acetate to this card, as well as this card. You guys know I love my acetate, so I had to do that. Some more pattern paper. And those are the books that I made. Then I loved how that gold snowflake card turned out, which it is my favorite. So I thought I would create a blue version using the same die in the center. I did add some gems to it. A snowflake at the top, some at the bottom with the happy holidays that I foiled in silver. This spinner, I die cut the main layer from white on the front, and then on the back I cut it from blue glitter, so that when it spins it creates a really cool two-toned look. So I thought that turned out really nice. We have another Nutcracker. This one I wanted to go with pink. I wanted to try to do something different, like that purple one. It just comes to a point where you want to try something different. I made a lot of blue winter cards, a lot of traditional Christmas cards, so I thought, why not make a pink Nutcracker for Breast Cancer Month? I think he turned out really nice. Again, I made the back layer completely solid using pattern paper, and he just kind of swings back and forth. And then here are the instruments from that music note cover plate. I do want to mention, because I forgot, that these spinners can come out. I will show that in a video. Obviously, you don't have to have them come out, but if you wanted to make these into little gift tags that your recipient can take out and put on their tree, you can definitely do that. So I thought that was also kind of a cool idea. Then I have another shaker card. This one turned out absolutely stunning. Another reindeer from the Winter Essentials and a tree from the Layering Trees die set. I decided not to make this a snowy tree, but rather just a regular green tree. I didn't want it to distract too much because I knew that I was going to add these gold snowballs in the front of this card. And again, this one is kind of like a shadow box, so it can work great as a home decor piece. And the inside piece is still hanging by the string, so it kind of just swings back and forth in there, which is a really cool effect. I tried to show you as many ideas as possible to hopefully inspire you guys. Then I have the Russian Winter Village, and wow, I love how the ink blending turned out. I was not sure if I would like the purple to blue to yellow, but I think it turned out wonderful. And then at the bottom I wrote Merry Christmas, my love. So I think I'm gonna give this one to my husband for Christmas. I also added a couple snowflakes and gems to really dress up this card. I love, love, love how this one turned out, especially the colors. All right, then we have an A7. This one is quite elegant. I used some of the products from the last release, which are the poinsettias, the leaves, the branches. I used stickles for the berries on this card. And then the centerpiece is that hot foil ornament. So you can't quite see the topper. If I would have taken this off, you would have seen the topper. But as I mentioned, this one doesn't spin, but it does kind of swing back and forth. I did add a backer to this one. And I think this just turned out so elegant and traditional. Beautiful card. Then I have this one, and my mom gave me this idea, which I wasn't sure about, I'll be honest. But it's basically this dainty little card. Added 2 of the small accordions at the top so that I can dangle 2 elements from this card. So I used some of the ornaments from the last release and the snowflakes from this release to create this beautiful dainty card. And this one just swings back and forth. It doesn't spin or anything, but I just think this one turned out so cool, and it's such a different idea. So like I said, you can just get really creative with these cards, and as you start making them, more ideas come to mind. So instead of doing 1 hanging element, why not do 2? All right, so I have 2 more cards left, or 3 more cards. The first one here is another Slimline. I really had fun picking out this pattern paper for the side. I love this candy cane stripe. Again, I made this one 360 with another sentiment on the back. I cut off that flap so that I could do a larger sentiment from the Nutcracker stamp set, which I gold embossed. I added some presents to the bottom, and this tree is the Christmas tree spinner, but instead I kind of I'm gonna have to do a tutorial on this, but I used the solid tree, I scored it in half, and then I just glued a bunch of them together to create this like 3D tree. There's a lot of tutorials on YouTube on how to make these, but yeah, I thought that was kind of cool and different. So this one looks super cool when it's spinning. So I love how this one turned out. Very cute card. Here is another one of those hot foil ornament cards. This one, it features the decorative foiled ornament. And on some of these snow globe cards, I forgot to mention that I did add acetate behind them, just to add that elegant touch. I only did that to the ones that didn't spin. The ones I wanted to spin, obviously, they have to be open on the front and back. But the ones that I knew would just swing, I thought it would be fun to add acetate behind them. So this is the same idea as that red one, but I went with more of a blue color scheme. So I went with white and vellum poinsettias with the pearls as the berry branches, and then some blue gems in the center. Let me know which one you guys prefer, the blue or the red. I think I like the red just because I love the traditional colors, but I love these vellum ornaments. They turned out, or not ornaments, flowers. They turned out really cute. Or pretty, not necessarily cute. So then I have another snowy village, which I know that this one is going to be popular. This is, again, another masculine card, I feel. I went with black, white, and gold. I tried my hardest to do a bunch of different color schemes to hopefully inspire you guys. And also just to kind of change up what I normally do. It was a lot of fun to find pattern papers for these globes, and you can see here that I used both layers in that spinner set, and I paper pieced the houses that are included in the die, as well as the little trees. I added a snowflake at the bottom with a gem, and then the Oh Holy Night hot foil sentiments at the bottom. So that actually wraps up all of my card samples. I can't believe that I made this many cards, but I enjoyed making each and every one of them. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it's super long. Remember to enter those giveaways. All you have to do is leave a comment letting me know what your favorite product is, and I'm gonna choose a winner in the next week or so. I will announce it on the Scrappy Tales blog and YouTube channel. So yeah, remember to come back on Friday over on Instagram. Otherwise, I will see you in a later video. Bye!